Good morning, everyone. If you can hear me, please give a thumbs up. Very nice, very nice. Yes, my name is Christian from ACCUREX. I think people are continuing to join our webinar for today. I'd like to welcome everyone to ACCUREX O'Clock. It's yet another Wednesday. We have an interesting topic today. Uh, so let's just wait as people continue to join. And yes, the speaker of the day will be Wilfred Chachi, another familiar face here at ACCUREX O'Clock. I think for the usual visitors, you've seen him before. He has done various topics, and today he's doing another topic. The topic of the day is workplace ethics in practice. Workplace ethics in practice. Yeah, I think I leave that part to him to dive deeper into the topic. So let me now introduce ACCUREX. ACCUREX is a HR consulting company. We are located at Ends Business Park. Our current primary office is at Ends Business Park along Mombasa Road. Yeah, we offer different services. Obviously, we offer HR consulting. We also do recruitment. We also do outsourcing. We also do trainings. We have just a moment. Yeah, there was a problem with my microphone. Yeah. So I was right. Our services, yeah. We also have payroll management. We also have coaching and mentoring, team building. We do CV writing, letters, and LinkedIn profile revamp. And also we have our product, which is People HRIS. It is a human resource information system, basically, where we different HR functions have been automated from payroll management, from job posting, different functions of HR. And yeah, basically all your HR functions in one at a glance. So as people continue to join, you can visit our website www.accurex.co.ke to view our different services. Also we post blogs. We also post jobs for those who are job seekers, active job seekers. You can visit our website. I think I'll be posting the link as the webinar continues. You can check out our website, yeah, to get more information about ACCUREX. Thank you. I think we can now start the webinar. I'd like to let Wilfred to continue. Wilfred, are you in the meeting? I think Wilfred is preparing the presentation, but yeah, I can see he's in the meeting.
Hello, can I be heard? You can hear me?
Yes, we
Thumbs
can.
up. All right, I think microphone issues, the same issues I think Christian had. I was using my laptop just previously for a presentation, and I think my mic had gone somewhere. But if you can hear me, thank you, and good morning, everyone. Again, welcome to ACCUREX O'Clock, as Christian had rightly put it. It's been a minute. Glad to see some familiar names, and for those who have enjoyed the ACCUREX O'Clock, welcome. Today, again, as Christian mentioned, we have a very interesting topic. It's a famous name, but a very interesting topic. And today, we are going to dig a bit deeper and see some practical things that we need to do in order to, when we are talking about workplace ethics in practice, what are we talking about, right? Just as a moment as I share my screen. Okay. Right, let me know when you can see. Everyone can see the screen, thumbs up. All right, I think tumeanzia pale mbaya. Just a second. Right. Okay, I think that's the right slide to start with. So today we are talking about workplace ethics, and this is in practice what we do on a daily, yeah. And I believe every one of us has some kind of idea of what workplace ethics is, or they know what we know what workplace ethics is. So we are trying to build a workplace culture that is of integrity and respect and accountability, right? So that being said, let me just see this going. All right. So that said, our agenda today, we are going to talk about 5 pillars. When we are talking about workplace ethics, what are we talking about? These are I know there are many other minor pillars that are there, but today we are going to talk about these 5, which are very key in terms of when we are talking about workplace ethics. And one will be integrity. And I know many of us know what integrity is, just doing the right thing when no one is watching, something like that, aligning yourself with words, actions that you do. What are your values? Because again, your value dictates what your integrity is, right? Number 2, we're going to talk about accountability, owning the outcome, not just being responsible for a task, but owning the outcome for the whole process. What are our responsibilities? What are our assignment? Yeah, can we be able to be accountable for the whole process? And then number 3, we are going to talk about transparency. What is transparency? When we talk about transparency, it means that sharing what people need to know, so that if they are making a decision, they make an informed decision. Yeah. Number 4, we are going to talk about respect. I know many of us, especially men, they demand respect. Yeah, a lot. So what is this respect? Yeah, treating everyone, colleagues, as a human being. We are going to dig deeper into that. Then we see how that affects the whole workplace ethics. Then lastly, we are going to talk about fairness, which is key. And especially when we are talking about today's work environment, fairness, most organizations, you can agree with me in terms of fairness. There's a lot, or rather big gray area when trying to apply fairness in corporate world, even in our personal relationships. And then we are going to see 3 case studies for some 3 companies that in Kenya that are either practicing or not practicing work ethics. All right, just to set the state, these are not rules to memorize, rather, but they are kind of like, I can call them reflexes, something we call muscle memory. So when you do something and you get used to doing something, there is something that we call reflexes. Then you build a reflex that you don't do it by thinking too much about it, yeah, because it's embedded in you. So you do it by, it becomes like second nature to you, right? So these are some reflexes I want us to build, not just some policy or rules that we want to talk about. So setting the state, why does work ethics matter, right? So we see that there is a gap between what we have the right to do and what is right. Now, when I say what we have the right to do, I know many of us have what we call JDs, right? And JDs, they tell you you are supposed to do task A, B, C, D. And then I know there is a famous clause within when we are applying for jobs or when they are giving you a JD, they are saying, and any other duties that will be given, right? But aside from that, that is what you have the right to do. Then comes what is right in doing. Now, this is now the ethics coming into play, right? This is and the study shows that there is a big gap between what you have the right to do and the right thing to do. And a study that was done shows that about 65% of all employees, maybe in the last, I would say in the last 12 years, they are not 12 years, 12 months, they have observed at least one act of misconduct in their own organizations, right? So maybe at this point, I'd like maybe just to engage the room so that I know we are going together. How many of us, this is a 65 percentage measure, so how many of us in the room, you have seen at least in the last 12 months, you have seen at least one misconduct being done at your workplace? Maybe by a show of hand. Yeah. Am I audible? Thumbs up if you have. Or maybe I rephrase the question. Thumbs up if you have not seen. Yeah? If you have not seen any form of misconduct being done or rather being carried out in the workplace, thumbs up. If you have not, wow, you must be working in a very good environment, Utah. Right. Yeah. But you see, that's a small percentage. So a very big percentage, and that may be true for the 65% that I've seen. But then there comes another thing. Out of these, 46% of those that saw and then reported, they fell, or rather they faced some kind of retaliation, because when you see someone doing something that is not right at the workplace and then you go and report, there is some form of retaliation, either by that person or by the management. Yeah. If you have seen and reported and then faced some kind of retaliation, hands up, or rather thumbs up. Some friction. Robert, I see Robert. All right. All right. Now, again, there's another 19% that witnessed some, in your own judgment, you saw this is not right. Either conflict of interest, either misconduct, and you saw some kind of cover-up within the system, maybe in our own organization or maybe somebody's organization. Thumbs up if you did. All right. Or I rephrase the question again. Yes, Robert also did. Is it only Robert who is seeing things that are not run right? Some of the things that are not being done right is in our own, even our own government. And you can agree with me that there's a lot that you see going on that is not right, right? Not even in our own office, maybe in our own offices, but it starts, they say charity begins at home. Even it's the corruption starts with our own selves. Yeah. How are we? And this carries on in organizations, and then by extension, then you find that it's going to even in the government, right? So we'll come to that later. So we see that ethics is not like a policy or a rule book you consult like once every month. Yeah, it's a small, the small decisions we make every day, the small choices we make every day, or lack thereof. Yeah, the battleground is in deciding whether to speak up or let it slide. Most of us on Samanga, if it doesn't concern me, I will not speak up. Yeah, a lot of us are there, right? These micro decisions often go unnoticed, but at the end of the day, you'll find that the repercussions in the long run becomes very big, right? And we've seen that what this does, they define our professionalism as professionals, as colleagues at work, as people, upright members of the society and things like those. Yeah. So we are going to see about all this. Yeah? But I want today's session to be very interactive because we are talking about ethics in practice. So I want to engage you and engage me, please, so that we can go together. We learn something that is new for today, right? So pillar number one, as we talked about, integrity. And we all know, I've a bit defined it, what integrity means. Integrity is alignment between what you say, what you do, and how you do it, right? Many of us, what we say and what we do, they are a bit different. You may say that you are honest, but when it comes down to it, you do things that are not honest, right? Anyone agree with me up to there? Thumbs up. Yes, Safari is Robert again. Thank you very much. We agree, when it comes to integrity, most of us, alignment between what we say and what we do, they are a bit different. So it takes somebody of integrity to be in alignment of what they say, when they say it, and what they do. Yeah, it is not a special act, but rather a daily reflex. As I said, I'd like to call this a reflex because when you build a reflex, it means that it's something you do without having to put much thought into it because it's something that you've practiced. You build in small bits, and then the moments define you, right? Or rather define the things that you do. These unseen moments, they work in different, they can be positive or it can be negative. That's why when we are talking about ethics in practice, it means that you are delivering the same status. If, for example, it's an update you are giving to your boss, right? Do you give the correct status update or do you not give the correct status update? As I say, I want to engage the team. So how many of us, I know many of us give some kind of reports when we do either weekly or monthly or whatever period that is. Do you give, and then this happens a lot when there is pressure. Right? There is pressure to deliver, but maybe you don't have a lot of resources that enable you to do that task, or you do not have support. So again, when this report is needed, do you give the correct status update or you give the report that the management wants? Because in most organizations, there is a saying that saying, do what your boss wants, not what is really happening on the ground. So any of us who is, by thumbs up, I mean, how many of us give, and by this I mean all the time, how many of us give the true status update when you are giving reports to management? Thumbs up if you do. Stephen, thank you. Andrew, I see you. Robert, yeah. And how many of us sometimes give true and sometimes give reports that by and large they look well to the management, but really it's not what is on the ground? Thumbs up. We are trying to learn something here, and we can only learn when we are being honest with ourselves. Yeah. You'll agree with me. Sometimes you'll give a report just because your boss likes it that way. It is the way he likes the report done, right? Not because it is the real thing that is happening on the ground. So owning the number, say for example, I will say like for salespeople, when you are told to give, a target of 10 million, for example, then you have talked to customers, there are those that have promised. When you are told to give your report, there is what you have, what your target is, and there's what you have really achieved, and then there's what is in the pipeline. And most, even from my own experience, from the people that I've interacted with, because you want to give hope to your management, you'll say that I've talked to customer X and they are really promising customers, and these are the numbers that we are looking at. If we onboard these customers, we'll need resource A, B, C, D, so that we can push these customers to be onboarded, right? So you are giving hope. So again, where ethics comes in is, where do we draw the line by saying the truth, and then at the same time also not uh, giving negative feedback to the management. Yeah. So you say something to flatter your boss, or in this case your colleagues, but that's not really what is happening in the ground, right? Saying, now integrity in practice will be, say for example, for this salesperson who say I've been able to achieve 4 million out of 10 million targets. Yeah. I've talked to customer A, B, C, D, and these were the bottlenecks. Yeah. You lay out what are the bottlenecks, or rather what are the obstacles, or what is the cause for you not reaching your target, but rather not trying to, blanket, or rather cover up, so that you can, again, just make your bosses happy. The test here would be for integrity. Would I be comfortable if the person that I'm telling that decision, or rather that report to, would I be comfortable if that I was the boss, but then again, the report is, I'm given the same thing? Would I be comfortable? If the answer is takes more than 3 seconds to answer yes or no, then you have a gray area. Then you need to work on your integrity, and by extent, work ethics need to be looked into. Right. So in practice, for example, this is like a scenario here. A project manager delivers an honest report update to the leadership, even when the news are bad. Because again, integrity shows, or rather work ethics becomes a work ethics issue when there is pressure to deliver and when the odds are against you. So you want to stay the best, but then again, at what expense? Yeah. So even when the pressure is high, staying honest, giving true status update shows a lot about integrity. So in this case, integrity is actions. What are those actions? You are choosing the truth over convenience. I hope we are together up to that point, right? So that is integrity. Number two, we are looking at accountability. And accountability means that you are stepping forward proactively, reporting mistakes before they happen, and owning the process. Yeah, from start to finish. Not because you are a person who is a salesman, and when you bring in a customer, or rather when you bring in the business, you stop there. So you are only accountable, or rather, for the finished product. In this case, you have to own the process, from talking to customers to knowing how whatever product it is that you are trying to the customer needs, the process that is involved therein, even from the financial side, how. given point in time, you are able to, be accountable to whatever it is, whether it's good or bad. So in this case, we are looking at blaming versus owning up. So blame, a person who is blaming others